It is the most wonderful time of year. It's that glorious time between Christmas and New Year's Day where you don't know what day it is, but it is WNBL Show Day. And welcome again, Sara Blicavs.
Merry Christmas, Megan Hustwaite, and Merry Christmas, everyone out there. It's a great week. Like you said, I don't know what day it is, and I am still stuffed from our dinner the other night, but happy times.
Oh, it is. It really is the most wonderful time of year. It is the 27th of December. Not sure what day it is, but we are here with a big episode ahead of a massive round 8, which tips off on Wednesday night with a double header, which you will be involved in.
I will. What a nice Christmas surprise.
Oh, what a lovely surprise. I love a bit of WNBL, a whole round to get in before the new year to finish off 2022. But let's talk about you. How was Christmas? We love all updates from the Blicavs clan.
We love updates from the Blicavs clan. There's 2 new kidlets, obviously not new.
There's a new
the Blicavs clan have been popping them out. There's a new kidlet enjoying her Christmas for the first time ever, and that's Edda. Oh. And then obviously the OG Arlatron.
Yeah.
We had a great time. We were in Torquay, just spending it with immediate family. Very competitive family. All we did all day for about 10 hours was play games and compete against each other. So we had the first ever annual Christmas Blicavs games that Mark Blicavs ran for us. And Steph and I were partnered with that. And Steph and I both lost. So it was a great day.
Who won?
Karen, Mama B, of course, just doing brilliant things as always. And Mark's girlfriend, Georgia. They were
what? That G and Mama B.
Yeah, can you believe it?
I love that combination.
When they got partnered up, we said straight away, they're going to lose for sure. They ended up winning the first annual Christmas Blicavs games.
What games were included?
We had a foul shot comp. Oh. We had, of course, ex-basketballers. That was always getting thrown in there.
Yes.
We had a trivia comp. We had a grape throwing contest. And a few other ones as well.
A steeplechase?
No, there was no steeplechase.
If Brian Taylor was commentating, he would have had a steeplechase for you. How fun.
Yes, yeah. So very enjoyable time. I love Christmas. I am exhausted though. It's a very social 3 days, that's for sure.
Oh, it is. And I've watched Home Alone 1 to 7 in the last few days. It's been a big few days. Now, last time we saw you, because we're just saying it's been like maybe nearly 2 months.
It has. It has.
Miss you so much.
Yes.
Now, last time we saw you and we were talking about your bronze medal from the World Cup and how Mark won the premiership with the Cats this year, and you hadn't seen him because you'd been like ships in the night.
Correct.
Tell me you saw him before Christmas.
I did see him before Christmas. Finally, I managed to catch up with him and I took the old rose gold medal back out on tour. It'd been put away for a little bit and I thought it was time to whip it back out and meet Mark Blicavs' premiership medal. So it was unreal. I was super happy to see him. I hadn't seen him for about 3 months because he'd been overseas as well. So then to actually catch up with him, get to hold his medal and see his medal, which may I add, the rose gold is a lot heavier and a lot better.
It's more prestigious, isn't it? It comes with prestige.
It does. And as I have said many times, I play for Australia and he plays for Geelong. So I feel like it means more.
Of course it does. Well, it's nice that they met each other, the medal.
It is. And not taking away anything from Mark. I'm super proud of him as well.
Yeah. Good on you, Mark.
Yeah.
You're not bad for the 5th, 6th best in the family.
Just below Mama B, of course.
Oh, just below. Now, Sara Bear, it is a big milestone for you this round. It's a home game for Southside Flyers playing the Caps, which we'll preview a little bit later in the show, but it is where your 250th WNBL game will be celebrated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd you get to 250?
I have no clue. And now it's starting to show my age, and hearing that, I realise that I am 30 next year and I've been playing WNBL since I was 16.
Wow.
So that is astonishing to me. And I guess it kind of racks up. You know, I had a year out with my ACL injury, but other than that, I have just been playing WNBL nonstop. But super happy, and I've heard it's 250's life membership.
Oh.
Is that correct?
Yeah, and because Mama B would be a life member, wouldn't she?
Yeah, I think she is. Steph Blicavs is a life member.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So if that means I'm going to get free entry into every game post-WNBL career, I'll take it.
You'd play 250 games just for that.
Can I milk it? Do you think when I'm like 80 years old and I rock up to the State Basketball Centre, just being like, excuse me, I'm a life member. I get to come in for free, please. Courtside tickets.
I see that on the reg. I see that on the reg at WNBL games. And they're entitled to it. So I would be hustling for that free seat. Now, 250 games, it's amazing. You mentioned, and it's incredible that you've reached it at 29. You missed a season with your ACL. Couple of championships in there, some great highs, obviously, the low being the injury. Is it something you can reflect on a little bit now? No, it's something you'd reflect on after you stop playing, but can you sort of savor the moment now?
Are you talking about the ACL injury or the 250 games?
The 250 games. We don't talk about the ACL.
Honestly, and this is going to be super funny, but it doesn't mean a whole lot to me. I think a lot of people like JJ came over to me earlier at training today and was like, do you want to invite more people? It's your 250th. And to me, it's not that important. And I think I see it as I've still got so many games left.
Yep.
Touch wood, hopefully. And it's something that I just want to continue to do. So for me, it's like, 250 is good, but I'm only 29. Hopefully I'm still playing by, 34, 35. So I might even make it to Kelly Wilson's little stage right now. What's she at? 400 something?
419.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. That is just way too far.
Speaking of milestones, KG23 played her 200th game last week, and I spoke to her and said, that's great, Kels, congrats, it's been wonderful, but you're not even halfway to Kelly. Like, that's great, but you're not even halfway.
It's just crazy to think.
Doesn't that put it in perspective?
Right. And how long it's going to take to reach 400 games, how many more years is that? I just think how would my body hold up? But Kelly Wilson is super fit, an absolute machine. So she for sure has more years left.
Best point guard in the league still right now for me, without a doubt. And it is so many games. Mia Murray is the other active player in top 10 of games played. So, and I think LJ's might be in there too. So that's pretty extraordinary, to have three players in that upper echelon of games played.
Yeah.
Still running around. So, Sara Bear, congrats. Hope you get the win. I know there won't be any extra people there, but...
No, there won't. I sent the message out to my family and friends like, oh, no, we've got plans. I was like, that's fine, guys. Stay at home.
Want you there anyway.
Life. Yeah, no, I'm good. It's all right. Mum, Dad, no. Okay, all right, easy.
But a win will be the best way to celebrate that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's take a look back at round 7, which happened pre-Christmas. We've had a million food comas since round 7. And let's rewind back to last Wednesday night in the nation's capital. This was an unbelievable game between Perth and Canberra. I was there for ESPN, and Canberra got away to an early lead off the back of Jade Melbourne, who had 20 first half points and ended up finishing with, I think, 24 to have a career best performance.
24, 9 and 7, may we add. A great
she was flirting with
the
the triple too.
She was.
She was unbelievable. The crowd were fantastic. They really got Canberra up and about. Caps were missing a few players as well. So Em Whittle-Harmon got injured in the warm-up. Shanice Swain didn't play, and Schwaggy yet to suit up for Canberra. They got away to a great start. It really felt like this might be the night Canberra get the first W. But the way Perth just stuck at it, and off the back of a captain's performance in the second half, 19 second half points to Sammy Whitcomb, drew away 97 to 83.
Yeah, Sammy Whitcomb, an absolute professional athlete, and she was never going to let that game go. I think a lot of teams are a little bit scared to play Canberra now. No one wants to be the first loss, their first win, sorry. So Sammy Whitcomb, amazing second half. But I mean, Jade Melbourne is just an unreal player, and she's really taken this team in her stride, and, she's just blossoming.
And she's leading them, isn't she? And she was using the crowd to get herself up. The crowd were feeding off her energy. There were some guys behind me where I was sitting on sideline, and they were yelling out to Perth, she's like a maths test. You've got no answers for her. And, they had all these lies going, and I just loved the way the crowd and Jade fed off each other.
Yeah.
They love Jade in Canberra, and I think that's what, they're having a rebuilding season, obviously, but I think that's the future of the club, isn't it? It's Jade.
Yeah, exactly right. And hopefully she will stick around with Canberra for a little bit longer, and I think her learning from Veerley as well is nothing but beneficial for her.
Lauren Scherf, fabulous in that game as well, continuing a really brilliant season out west. Let's move on now to Thursday night. This was probably the game, if not one of the top games of the season. It was an overtime battle between Melbourne and Adelaide. Melbourne took the Chocolates 106-100. I know we talked about offense after round one. This was an offensive
Was their defense
showcase. Was their defense played? An unbelievable game. Melbourne have taken the series on Adelaide, but Adelaide lost to them by, I think, a couple of points first up. Was schooled in the second game just a week prior, and then 6 points was the difference after Adelaide led by 15. This was an unbelievable contest.
This has to be one of the highest quality games of WNBL I've actually ever seen in my career of watching WNBL. I was in awe. The caliber of players and just how elite the whole game was. Both teams shooting at 40% from the three-point line. And as you said, I mean, both teams getting 100, 106. That's amazing and just a big shootout. But going back to Mia Murray and played how many games it is that she's played and she's still getting 34 points, 7 from 9 from the three-point line.
The shooting was unbelievable, but also not, because that's Mia. And
Yes.
I'm not going to have comments about whining about the clock and whatever, because she's never stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But it is an unbelievable story. And she was here in your seat a few weeks ago co-hosting that. She's ended up at Melbourne. She's starting and playing a huge role. I mean, she's been their best player to date this season. Tiff Mitchell's been incredible too. But I think you look at Mia's game the other night where she sort of kept Melbourne in it for a little while, and then obviously the shot that got them into overtime. I mean, she's just been unreal.
Huge, ever so reliable for her, and just thriving under Chris Lucas. And it's so nice that she's got this opportunity and that she can come out and do this and prove everyone wrong, I feel.
Yeah, it's just a great WNBL story. Speaking of, Kayla George has had an unbelievable year. It continued last week where she set some records of her own with the first triple-double in the WNBL since 2012, where your former captain, Jenna O'Hay, had the last triple. And I want to thank Dean Andrews. He does an unbelievable job on Twitter and also with his website with stats, and he got onto this first. So we've got to credit Dean. Kayla flirts with the triple pretty much every week. She wasn't shooting well early. I think she
0
was
from 8 in the first quarter.
0 from 8. So to recover from that and have a triple says volumes about Kayla.
I just feel like Kayla is just playing incredible basketball since having Pearl. And it might just be a mental thing. I think having another focus and having another priority has just made her just flourish in this league at the moment. And like you said, she's always flirting with a triple-double. She's getting assists, she's getting rebounds. And not only that, she still plays great D. She's fit right now. She's just loving life.
And she was in the team of the week alongside Mia and Sammy Whitcomb, LJ, who we'll talk about shortly. So 4 mums out of 5 in the team of the week this week. Shyla, as Sammy said on Instagram, bringing the average age down by a little bit. Baby Shy. But Adelaide too have been super impressive. Izzy Borlase, she's got ice in her veins. I will go to Adelaide tomorrow, not just because I'm doing sideline for the game, but I will go to Adelaide to watch Izzy Borlase play. She is just speaking of great stories this season, she's one of them.
Yeah, and as we've said a few times, playing with no fear. To come out with the confidence and hit that big three-pointer at the end of the game as well was huge. And just taking it to all the vets as well. She's not scared to put the ball on the floor. She's not scared to go at the rim. She's a great addition for Adelaide, and she's just going to thrive in the future.
What about Kirsten Bell? She had some massive triples last week too. I think both the imports have got better week on week. They've really sort of fit into the team, adjusted to the league. Adelaide have been so unlucky though with some of the losses they've had. So their season ledger would look a lot different if you turn those results around. But I don't want to play Adelaide any week.
I mean, they beat us, so we don't need to speak about that anymore. But Adelaide's a scary team for me. I see all this potential in them, and I'm just waiting for it to click for them. And they've shown signs, and as soon as they all gel as a team, they're going to, just boom.
Well, scary was one word to describe what happened last week in Bendigo as your Southside Flyers handed the Spirit their first loss of the season. Southside 96-67 victors. Sara Blicavs, wow, where did that come from? Because you guys have had some really good wins this season, but that was next level.
Exactly right. I think we just got a little bit sick of hearing Bendigo are undefeated, Bendigo are undefeated. So we thought it was about time we actually did something to stop that. But in saying that, our team's really coming together nicely at the moment. I think we're starting to find our stride and we're gelling well. And I think it's only onwards and upwards for us as well. But we knew going into Bendigo was going to be tough. They played so well together. They're such hustle players. So for us, it was all about rebound and defense. And, we really took it at them at the start. And yeah, it just kind of all clicked for us. We know we play them soon again and they're going to come back onto our home court and I think really give it to us as well. But I'm really proud of the girls.
So it was a statement because of what, you just touched on, but it was a statement defensively as well, because I think everyone talks about Southside being an offensive team and you can score and, everyone can score and pile up the points. But as you said, the focus on Bendigo was defensively and you were able to do that and keep them to 67. Do you think sometimes, or do you think this season Southside have been judged unfairly in terms of their defence?
Not unfairly, because I'll be quite modest here and I think we've always needed to work on it. So you know what? Fans have every right to say that we have not been a great defensive team, but it's something that we're working on and it's been our major focus. So I think it's scary signs for everyone else that we are coming together like that. And the fact that that's our focus, knowing how offensively dominant we are, put those two together, we're going to be, hopefully, I don't want to jinx myself because I jinxed myself last time I was here with Townsville, but we're going to be.
Yeah, that's right. You said you'd win by 30.
And we lost. But anyway, I feel like we're going to be quite unstoppable going ahead.
What's it like playing alongside LJ when she's on fire like that?
Yes. I mean, she's unreal. I love playing with LJ. I love being, responsible for throwing her the basketball and her scoring. And, she gets so hyped. She's a little bit of a psycho, which I just love and adore. And I'm just wrapped that she's playing great basketball still.
I could go through everyone, but I want to finish with Kayla Thornton because stud is just the word. I feel like I don't say her name without saying stud.
Yeah.
How tough is she?
Yeah, she's incredible. I mean, not only offensively, but she takes it on her back defensively to, do things out there. I mean, that block that she did on Kelly Wilson was huge out in the stands. And that right there, she chased her all the way down the floor just to do that. And I'm like, the effort is there for her. And yeah, she's a great, great player to have on our team.
It was like Tom and Jerry, like the cartoon, like Kayla chasing Callie. I was scared, but I could also hear the music, the cartoon music.
I was running down the floor right next to her and Callie looked comfortable and I could just see Kayla running after her and I was just waiting for this to happen. No. Yeah, it was definitely a big highlight of the season.
There were a lot of highlights that night for Southside. We'll finish off now with Sydney and Canberra. The Flames 87-72 victors over Canberra. These two are getting very well acquainted with themselves because they play again this week. But the great news for Sydney was it was their second win of the season. Canberra came close again, but unfortunately no cigar. You've come up against Sydney and they're finally sort of getting some reward for their efforts, particularly after playing some great D over the last few weeks.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, a nice spread of scorers. Froling was on 26, Shyla 22, 8 and 6, great game by Shyla. But for me, what I really noticed was that Jade only had 2 points and, that's credit to Shyla, Tiana and Vanessa, their point guards. Like you said, we've played against them. They're fiery guards. They love defense and they go at us. So to hold Jade to 2 points is, big credit to them and yeah, it's nice that they're getting a few wins.
So Ray Burrell really stood up for Canberra on that night, which was great to see. They were backing up, of course, after playing Perth 2 nights earlier. Shanice back into the side, which was great, and they're still waiting on Schwagmeyer Belger. So whether or not she plays against you this week, she's got to be close. But I think the morale and the boost she'll bring just being out there, I mean, you've played against her in this league over the years and she's a gun. So she's going to be a huge in for them.
Yeah, big offensive player as well for them. But I actually want to credit Ray Burrell too. She's really starting to find her groove now and she's looking like a scary player to play against. I mean, she can shoot, she can drive, she's super athletic. So if she's starting to find her form and then adding Swaggy in, they might end up getting a few wins.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? Like when they get things going, like they've played some good basketball at times but not got the reward. Again, like you don't want to play anyone like that because they've got nothing to lose. And especially for teams on the way to finals in the back end of the season, other sides can't make it, but they can certainly shape the makeup. So you're not going to want to play Canberra either.
Exactly right. As we said before, they are a scary team to play. I'm glad we get to play them tomorrow because we've already played them recently. So I feel like we'll still be okay. But you never know. Again, I don't want to jinx myself.
And, we'll win by 30.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not saying anything like that.
Well, it wouldn't be an episode of the WNBL show with one of Sara Bear's Spotify lists. And what a time to do it. Heading into a new year, 2023, it is the place to be. Sarah, what have you got for us as a bit of a NYE, NYD vibe?
Great. I love this segment. I get super excited to come in here just for this segment. Sarah's Spotto. Here we go. Happy Music by Super Shy. Very disco, very smooth. And with this song, I would like to listen to it in the car as the sun's setting.
Oh.
Can I be more specific?
No.
Honestly.
Can you be more specific? You cannot be. Okay, love that. Next.
Number 2, we've gone for Massive by Drake. For me, it's a very dancey kind of get yourself going song, which I actually like by Drake. He's not really known for the old upbeat tunes. And I will listen to this pre-basketball game, pre-training.
This could be a pre-derby song for next week.
Exactly right.
Southside Boomers.
Yep.
Okay. And finish this off with Sarah's Spotto.
Thirdly, I've gone for Danielle, Smile on My Face by Fred Again. Now, Fred Again is the artist of the moment for me. I am obsessed with him. Very electric, trance, kind of progressive sound, and somehow gets me all in my feels, this song, at the same time.
That's a lot.
How he does it, I don't know, but he does it to you.
And when, why, where are you listening to that?
All the time.
Okay.
If I'm in the shower, I'm listening to that. If I'm driving, I'm listening to that song. If I want to go to bed, I'm listening to that song. It's amazing.
It's doing the job for you all day, every day.
Exactly right.
Sarah Spotto, where can we subscribe?
Sarah.Blicavs on Spotify, everybody.
Self-contained. I love that. Let's finish off the year with round 8 and a doubleheader on Wednesday night, starting at the State Basketball Centre with Sara Blicavs' Southside Flyers hosting the UC Caps. What are you most aware of when it comes to the Caps heading into this game? They haven't won a game, but you will not be taking them lightly.
No, not at all. Again, as we have said numerous times, a scary team to play because of that exact reason. We know they're fiery on transition. They never give up, and they actually are a very good offensive team as well. So we'll have our work cut out for us. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to give away any more of our game plan.
No, don't give away the scout. And happy 250th celebrated game to Sara Blicavs. May or may not be game 252. And then Wednesday night, after that, we head to Adelaide for our game of the round on ESPN. It is Adelaide and Bendigo. Adelaide coming off an overtime defeat to Melbourne. Bendigo coming off their first loss of the season. Both are going to be very fired up. I'm not sure how that works when they're both
fired up. It could be very chaotic. There might be fights. I'm not sure. Look, like you said, both coming off losses, they're going to want to get these wins. But for me, you know what? Adelaide might have watched us beat Bendigo by 30 points and realised they're not undefeated, they're not unstoppable. So that might give them a bit of motivation and confidence as well. But Bendigo losing by 30, they might come out, want to prove a point.
Breathing fire. Who knows? We'll find out 7 o'clock local time, 7:30 Melbourne time on ESPN. Adelaide, though, they got a scalp in you guys. I reckon they're after another one. They might get Bendigo, but then I don't want to be playing Bendigo after their first defeat either. So chaos. Chaos.
Absolute chaos.
Now, Sydney, Canberra, they will play each other for the third time in a month and then won't see each other in 2023. So is the fixture. Now, Sydney have got 2 wins over the Caps. Can they get their 3rd win of the season and their 3rd win over the Caps, or are the Caps going to break through, given that this is also their 2nd game of the weekend?
Exactly right. Again, I'm not too sure because of that whole reason that Canberra have nothing to lose and they will just come out firing. But Sydney, again, they want to make the top 4. They're playing with some good grit right now, so I think Sydney still might have them unless Canberra come out with this amazing defensive game. Who knows?
Who knows? But Schwagmeyer may be in action this weekend. It could change the dynamic of a few things.
I love how it's all quiet and no one knows about Swaggy.
I know, but
is she playing? Is she not?
Yeah, no, I got hold of her last week in Canberra to make sure she's really here. And she is. It was great to see her. Yes,
she is here. She was sitting on their bench. I did witness it.
She's really here. The myth, the woman, the legend. Perth and Adelaide, well, they got to know each other very well in pre-season because they played a series of 3 games. They're taking on each other in Perth. Perth haven't played, of course, since last Wednesday against Canberra. Adelaide, it continues a busy little hectic period for them. I think Perth will get that one at home. What about you?
I think Adelaide might get this one. In saying that, it is the second game for them. I think it's like 1-2 days later. So they might be a little bit tired as well with travelling with Perth and the time difference in Perth. I'll tell you what, that gets me. Playing 10:30 Victorian time, I am asleep at that point.
What about last week when Perth played Canberra and it was a Wednesday 5:30 in Canberra, which meant it tipped off at 2:30 on a Wednesday afternoon in Perth? Just watch that between your spreadsheets.
The time difference is crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna throw it out there and say Adelaide are going to get the win.
Okay, and then we finish off on New Year's Eve. How else would you rather spend it than either being involved in Townsville and Melbourne or watching it? This is a bit of a tradition because a few years ago, this is what the fixture was. One of your teammates, Monique Conti, I remember doing a story with her when she was probably in year 11 or 12 with the Boomers, and she was 16 up there with the Boomers playing on New Year's Eve, and everyone was partying, and I think she was hanging with Gayleen McKay.
Great.
Which is a fun time.
I mean, how else would you want to spend
she was underage in the field, but anyway.
Shout out to Gayleen McKay as well.
Yeah,
way to whip her in there.
One of the greats. Probably should get her on to co-host. But anyway, it's great to see Townsville and Melbourne playing this fixture, and we know Townsville are going to have a big home crowd there. Last time they played, a few points separated them. Townsville led for most of the game but had some injuries. Actually, everyone was injured that night. Tiana Hawkins, Steph Reid, Lauren Nicholson. But Melbourne produced a fantastic comeback. What happens this time?
First of all, going back to your comment, I just don't know if you're being sarcastic or not in saying that they would all be very happy to be playing on New Year's Eve night. And I know I will also be watching it on the TV.
Yeah, no, of course, not now. Why wouldn't you? Get it in before the fireworks?
Great coverage. So I'm going to say maybe, you know what? I'm going to say Townsville are going to get the win.
Yeah.
I
think so too.
Yeah.
They are cooking.
They are cooking right now. Playing in Townsville is always difficult with their home crowds.
Had a decent break.
They had a decent break. They're fresh. They're ready to go. I think Townsville could get this.
Oh, it's going to be an interesting old game, that's for sure. Round 8 coming at you of Signet WNBL. We can't wait. The action is hot. It is bloody hot in here. It is the hottest day of the year in Melbourne.
But we're getting a sponsorship from Pump.
And Mount Franklin, saving our lives, and great pre-show icy poles. I'm sweating in places. I can't even tell you. Sara Blicavs, good luck against Canberra. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a joy. And please come again on a cooler Melbourne day.
Thank you, Megsy. Appreciate it. And Happy New Year's to everybody.
Happy New Year, everyone. Many happy returns.